I'm incredibly humbled. I'm just incredibly humbled by what has transpired here over the weekend. Let me hear it one more time for each other, what we did here. I was just backstage, and one of the partners in putting this together, she came up to me and she said, I've been doing conferences and events my whole life. I'm an event planner. I've been doing it for 30 years. Never in her life has she ever been to a conference that every person, attendee, speaker, infrastructure, every human was kind, brought value, wanted to engage, felt safer. What we are doing here matters, and let this be very clear. That isn't done by a human, that is the collective of the humans that are here, and I need you to make some fucking noise for each other right now. I need you to make much more noise, make more fucking noise for each other. I thank you from the bottom of my heart to be a representation of how I was taught, what I grew up with, and most of all, what I deeply believe in my soul. There will be mistakes, there will be missteps. It is the human spirit. I absolutely captain this brand and this ship, and I promise you more mistakes. I don't want to make them. There will be missteps. There are plenty of things that go along the way. We're fucking human. The number one thing I promise you that I've sensed in the hours and hours and hours and hours I spent over the last 3 days talking to all of you is we need to be kinder to each other. And what I mean by that is it starts with all of you being kinder to yourselves. The number one takeaway I have from this is if this is the nicest community that this human has interacted with in 30 years, we have so much more opportunity to go, because I know how much pain is still sitting inside of so many people, because I've interacted with all of you for the last 3 days. Fear, pain, hurt, fear. I want to talk about that. I want everybody to sit, because I want to be fair to everybody, please. You're welcome, John. I love you. I love you so fucking much, you don't even know. So I did something the other day on community. I know some of you are following me on my community text in the US, because it's only a US product, 212-931-5731. And I asked some of you to ask a question about fear, because I wanted the opening keynote to be about my family, and I wanted the closing keynote to be about my friends. And so this keynote today is going to be with you involved. So I've queued up, I actually don't know the videos. I asked the team to go through all the videos that were submitted. And I'm gonna answer Q&A right now, based on the questions from y'all. And then we're gonna talk, we're gonna close this thing out, and then we're gonna go to dinner. And then we're gonna come back here tonight for Jordan Sparks. I want every single person in this stadium back here tonight for Jordan Sparks for 2 reasons. Because I want that music to hit your soul. And more importantly, or equally important, I want to sneak in a couple more high fives, Q&A, and selfies before we get out of here. I know I've gotten to a lot of you, but not all of you, and I will roam and hang out and try to get involved. So I expect everyone. I've got an Uno tournament tonight where I'm gonna whip some ass. I always beat you, and you know it. You beat me once, random, with some bullshit. We got card collecting night. The card thing is crazy. I need to get more serious about that. I invite all of you to go to Chicago at the National Card Convention in July. I'm setting up shop. I'd like to see you all, but let me go into the keynote. Let's queue up the first question for...
Gary, on the way to Veecon, I am often crippled by the fear of making the wrong decision. The wrong decision to go after my dreams or go after something I like to do, and particularly missing out time with loved ones or being away from my dog here that I love so much. I want to be in so many different places at one time, and I am often crippled by the decision of what to actually be doing. Give me your advice. Thank you. Love you.
Let's clap it up for Gabriel. Who I've seen multiple times at Veecon. Gabriel, this is simple. This is something all of you are dealing with. Everyone is crippled to make a decision because they don't want to make the wrong decision. You're scared to make the wrong decision, and think about how awesome what he said was. Most people are like, bro, I don't want to make the wrong decision, Gary, because this one might have made me more money than this one. He's saying, I don't want to make the wrong decision because if I make the wrong decision, it came at the expense of spending time with my loved ones and my dog. That makes so much sense to me. That's even a more noble version of the fear of making the wrong decision. Here is the greatest thing about decisions. If 3 people leave with this one tonight, then I've won this whole Veecon. There's a secret that you don't know about decisions. It's called, you wouldn't have known the alternative, and so it doesn't fucking matter. When you make a decision, you've made a decision, and you actually don't know how the other way would have worked out. You wouldn't have known. You think you would have known. Well, if I went to Amazon instead of this bullshit company 20 years ago, I would have made all this money. You might have got fired from Amazon. You might have been going to work one day at Amazon and got into a car accident that changed your health. You don't know. The fuck's the matter with all of you? Nobody fucking knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knew. Nobody knew. Enough. You can't fear decisions. It's the way we live as humans. You're making decisions every day. You decided to come here. You might have not. We are crippled by the unknown when we can't control it. The amount of questions that were asked to me the last 3 days, asking to control some shit that you don't control. You have to let go. What you're really saying is, I'm scared to fuck up and then have people judge me for it. You gotta make decisions and you gotta move. The answer to your question, Gabrielle, is you have no alternative. Being a human being is making decisions and living with it. That's the game, and there's no other way to do it. Or just chill with your dog every day. I don't fucking know. Run it.
Veecon, hey Gary, what is your advice for a mom like myself who took a hiatus from corporate to raise her family and now has fear around the gap in her resume because it doesn't actually reflect what she's capable of on the job? What's your advice for women like me?
Clap it up for Nikki. I got a great news alert. Great news alert. This resume shit is bullshit. I have great news alert for all of you. The resume is some 1992 shit. I don't think I've ever looked at a resume in my fucking life. A better one. One of the things that impacted me at the selfie station, a young woman told me, I made a video, which I remember, of talking about like, so many of you, this is gonna hit heavy. As a matter of fact, if this hits heavy, make some noise, because I love this one. I'm gonna answer this one. No, I don't mean hitting heavy the overall thing, I know that, but wait. I mean this little part I'm about to say. A young woman came up to me and said, you made a video that changed my life. The video was, you said it was okay for me to quit if I was in a toxic job, even though I was only in it for 6 months, because I was scared that if my resume had me somewhere for 6 months, it would look bad, and that was some shit the old world was teaching all of us, and you told me it was okay, and I quit, and I've been so much happier. How many people here, by way of making sound, are scared to leave their job because they don't like how it's gonna look on the resume because it's such a short window? Good, so 23 people just got the fucking answer they needed. Nikki, to answer your question, you are so fortunate to be living in the world that we're living in right now, which is based on the following. Companies are looking at the resume less and less. Companies are looking at what college you went to less and less. The world moves, it ebbs and flows. 70 years ago, nobody gave a fuck about what college you went to. It was vocational, it was skill-based. Last 50 years, that fucking college thing mattered. When me and my fucking boys right there went to Mount Ida, nobody, let's fucking go! Everyone thought we were fucking losers. Nobody's ever heard of Mount Ida. And I promise you, when I look at all of them and what they've accomplished and who they are as men, we fucking won. So Nikki, to answer your question, every company that gives a shit that you were a stay-at-home mom and don't realize that the skill sets that you learned of raising children are wildly relevant for the world we live in today, is a fucking company that you don't want hiring you in the first fucking place. Hard skills are a commodity. AI can do that shit. Soft skills of managing humans is the fucking game. Stay-at-home moms understand that shit way more than you fuckers out there. Next.
My question to you is, which I kind of asked you already when I was over there, and you encouraged me to do this video. My thing is fear, right? Fear of doing this video, fear of public speaking, fear of trying new things, fear of starting that Airbnb art class. So I have put off like so many things just because fear of rejection, fear of failure. I would love to get rid of that fear and just say, you know, fuck it and do it, but I just can't. So any advice that you have, very appreciated.
Let's clap it up for Marcy. This is a good one. This is universal. My friends, what's so great about doing the selfie thing for 3 days and just standing there and doing it with all of you is you can like start to poke. You know, my content, I can only do so much. I give you this, and sometimes, and like a lot of times, and it's humbling, it works. But you know what it is in real life. Sometimes you gotta boot, you gotta go back, and I gotta go back. It's like ping pong. We gotta go back and forth a couple times. This one, if it resonated for you, is super universal. The reality is most of you are scared to fail in front of someone. The fear of failure is not an insular thing, it's an external validation or reputation thing. If you are scared out there to fail in stuff and not do stuff, it's because you're worried about letting someone down and/or you've been conditioned to be shameful of losing. I don't attack 8th place trophies for kicks and giggles. I'm mad at 8th place trophies not because I love competing and I want to be a winner, or first is the only thing and everything else sucks. I fucking hate 8th place trophies because we're teaching children that losing is bad. We're giving them a trophy because they are being told if you lose, it's so bad that we have to hide it by giving you this fake ass trophy. We're conditioning these children to be scared of losing. I don't know if anybody's heard the news alert. Life is only about losing. Life's about losing. We're all losing micro losses constantly. We're constantly losing. We're fucking losing every day. You need to fall in love with micro losing, which is how you get macro winning. You understand? What Marcy has to figure out is who she's scared to lose in front of her. Her mom? Her dad? 3 different people said, I'm scared to lose in front of my children. I don't want them to think I lost. I said, no child's relationship is based on their parents' business success. No child is disappointed if their parents don't build a big company. Children are disappointed in in their parents when they don't get unconditional love. There's unlimited people. If you're in here unconditionally loving your parent, but your parent wasn't a massive business success, make some fucking noise. One more time, if you are here and you love the fuck out of your parents, yet they weren't crushing it financially, clap it the fuck up. Now, if you are sitting here and you fucking hate your parents strictly because they sucked in business only, make some noise. You're a piece of shit. One piece of shit and universal after-fucking-mation. Clap it the fuck up. Does anybody else feel like the last 3-4 minutes, like eventually we just like I almost feel like Veecon needs to just change everything. Like, we just have to fucking change people's perspectives. Like, how is anyone confused about I need to win in business for my kids to be proud, hearing what we just heard? How are you fucking confused? You make up shit. My friends, I love you with all my heart, but a lot of you make up shit. We make up shit because we believed fake society. Somebody said, bro, I feel like you got me out of the Matrix. And I'm like, in it now. I'm like, it's not the Matrix, my man. It's called perspective. The Matrix we hear about, it's called perspective. You want to decide everything is shit? Everything is shit. You want to decide everything is good? Everything is good. This is not delusion. This is how you deal with shit. And there's just too many people hurting and insecure inside, which is why they deal with venom. And we need to fucking figure out how to make the world friends with each other. Do you understand? She needs to figure out who she's scared to lose in front of, and she needs to deploy therapy, meditation, putting positivity in her ears, and most of all, have the conversation with the person. Most of you are here that have any anxiety in your chest are one singular conversation away of saying it out loud to the person that's fucking you up, normally one of the 4 to 7 people closest to you in the world. And if you leave Veecon with anything, not a fucking pin, though they're cool, not even the great new friends you've made, which is fucking profound, it's with the courage to go home and have one conversation that you've been sitting on. You need to tell someone in your life that their judgment of you has become your judgment of yourself, and you're fucking done with that shit. Throw it up.
It was good. Packer from Veecon, saw the text. One question I think would be helpful for a lot of people to answer is, people struggle with this fear of, how do I express myself? How do I feel good about who I am when I'm in a social situation? What's my identity? Who am I? And I think it takes time for some people to get to a point where they have a confidence in who they are and they know who they are. What advice do you have for people to get closer to that point so that they can really just feel that confident with themselves? And what exploration or ideas or hacks do you think will help people get in touch with who they are?
Let's clap it up for Daniel. This question really matters a lot to me. Run it back one more time. I want you to pay attention, because I was doing this thing and you might have been not paying attention.
It was good. Packer from Veecon, saw the text. One question I think would be helpful for a lot of people to answer is, people struggle with this fear of, how do I express myself? How do I feel good about who I am when I'm in a social situation? What's my identity? Who am I? And I think it takes time for some people to get to a point where they have a confidence in who they are and they know who they are. What advice do you have for people to get closer to that point so that they can really just feel that confident with themselves? And what exploration or ideas or hacks do you think will help people get in touch with who they are?
I got this. I don't know if you heard, but high school is over. The amount of people that put other people's opinions of them on a pedestal is an issue. It is a concern of mine, even with myself. I would die if you valued my opinion of you over your opinion of yourself. When I tell you, to answer his question directly, how do you go through the system? It's one of the biggest reasons I'm so excited about Veecon. As I pushed early on, and as how I've tried to find other moments with all of you, pushing you to the answer to this question, which is called practice. The way you get better at anything in the world is practice. You want to get better at basketball? You practice. You want to get better at singing? You practice. You want to get better at DJing? You practice. You want to cook better? You practice. You want to be a better entrepreneur? You practice. You want to get better at having self-confidence? You practice on not valuing someone else's opinion over your own opinion of yourself. You practice by putting yourself out there more. More. The context of this conference is super powerful and will be no question an aggressive theme of mine for 2024 is to push you to say hello to more people. More, because what you're gonna get here, as you know, is positive reinforcement. You're gonna get reciprocated likely at a high percentage in a good way. By the way, I'm not naive. I'm sure that even though we've tried to push this nice movement, like all this, that some people weren't receptive and things of that nature, they might have been dealing with something, they might be introverted themselves, but you get practice. The way you get more confident in yourself is you stop putting other people's opinions of yourself in front of yours. Then they go to me, but Gary, what if it's my opinion of myself that I suck? Then I remind them that that was instilled in you. If you think you suck as you sit here today, that you suck, I want you to understand something. That was somebody else's voice putting that inside of your head. That person felt sucky about themselves too. Something I'm about to start making a lot of content around is called fuck your grandparents. Yep, new big pillar for me coming in 2024. Whole framework, it's called fuck your grandparents. Let me tell you why. So many people in here running around with so much fucking anger and hate towards their mom and their dad, and giving Granny a pass when she was the one that fucking made them. So many people in this room mad as fucking daddy when daddy's dad fucked them the fuck up. So a lot of you love grandma. She gave you some cookies and shit. Hate your fucking mom. But the grandma was the fucking problem. But here's where it gets interesting. 2026, I'm coming out with fuck your grandparents' parents. My friends, how about instead of being really fucking mad at your parents, then moving that on to hating the shit out of your grandparents, then deciding your great-grandparents were the actual shit, and then starting some weird fucking family tree fucking hate framework. How about we start deploying compassion? How about you start feeling bad for your mom and dad? How about the people here that haven't talked to a relative, a brother, a sister, a cousin, a mom, or an aunt? How about you leave Veecon and fucking call them and say, I'm sorry, because this shit doesn't actually fucking matter. And you know what's most interesting to me? Is how not loud that clap is. Right? You know what was just interesting about everything? Is y'all aren't ready. You like resentment as your partner. You like the ability to blame someone else. We need to get off that drug. We need to start deploying compassion, not resentment. You want to build a business? With this emotional framework, you're not building shit until you're good. You aren't building shit until you're fucking good. Do you understand? Y'all aren't ready, but I'm telling you, me and Snoop 2026, fuck your grandparents, go. Run it.
Hey Gary, I would love to know how you teach people how to take fear and to actually flip it around and to turn it into a strength.
Great question. One more time.
Hey Gary, I would love to know how you teach people how to take fear and to actually flip it around and to turn it into a strength.
Let's clap it up for Dylan. I wanted to talk about fear today because it is the punchline. Just so you know, the world is weaponizing fear to make you think shit. Everybody, left, right, up, down, this, that, country, like everybody does the same shit. I don't want to hear your boring conversations about politics or this, that. It's all the same shit. Everyone's imposing fear on you. Everyone. Everything you must do is, to the answer of this question, understand fear. Why? Why are you scared of your kids getting kidnapped and you won't let them go out? Really? The media pumps it in your head. Because fear gets ratings, doesn't it? Fear gets clicks. It fucking pisses me off. The way I teach people is we talk about it. I just don't think. I mean, every day that goes by, I think about fear. I spend an obnoxious amount of time on fear. My intuition is that most people in this room are not spending every day thinking about how fear plays a part in their life. Why are they scared? And what are they scared of? The answer to the question is that it's not that I know that I teach, it's that I know that it's something we need to talk about. And the more we talk about it, the more likely we can do something about it. The more educated we are. People are like, Gary, you hate education. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't hate education. All I do is education. I hate the way that education is being sold to our children in 2023. We need to educate more about fear, understand fear, and understand it. That's how. Let's keep it going.
Hey, what's up, Gary? Thank you for the event. I want to ask you a question. Can you tell us one time when you take a big risk, conquered your fear, things went extremely great, and then another time when you conquer your fear, like do that things and the things went extremely wrong? This is from James. Thank you.
Thank you, James. Let's clap it up. I was scared to ride my bike. I think I was like 9 or 10. Everybody else had been riding their bike. I didn't want to scratch my fucking knee. I was scared to swim. I was old as fuck. I was playing knock hockey in a pool place, and I overheard that my sister, I think my mom was like, yay, Liz is swimming. I fucking stopped playing knock hockey. I was 9 and a half. I ran and jumped in the pool and tried to make pretend that I learned how to swim first. I was scared to ask girls out. I was scared to do a million fucking things. Fear is part of it. To answer your question, every time I was scared, once I did it, I wasn't fucking scared anymore. This is why I think kids should still be fighting each other. I think one of the things that we fucked up, besides 8th place trophies, is kids don't fight in grammar school anymore. I think you should all go home from Veecon and tell your little ones to punch some kid in the face tomorrow. Not for your kid, but once that kid gets punched in the face, they won't be scared of getting punched in the face anymore. I'm kidding. I'm not fucking kidding. But why I wanted to tell that story is we need to think. If you sterilize everything, you groom zoo animals. I don't know if you know what happens when a zoo animal gets put back in the wild. It gets killed in 37 seconds. We need to get comfortable with fear and losing as a society, understand it, play with it, and build. The answer to your question, brother, is everything I was scared of once I did it was a win, and it's never been a loss in my life. It might have not worked out the way I wanted to, but I promise you, I don't even remember. I've lost so much. I've got so many micro losses. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm ringing doorbells at 8 years old trying to sell something. When the first 4 people say no, those are losses. I've lost so much, it's my comfort zone. I'm a fucking Jets fan. Bunch of buddies of mine, a bunch of people were like, how'd you feel yesterday with the Andrew Schultz roast? I'm like, motherfucker, I'm from Jersey. I was born in the 80s, I grew up in the 80s and 90s. My friends made fun of me way worse than that last night when I went in between one class to another in fucking the hallway, motherfucker. Give a fuck about some jokes. We need to be tougher. We need to get more comfortable with fear. One more. I know I'm running late, but I'm fucking feeling it. Yo, this is my fucking conference. This is my fucking conference.
Gary, super grateful to have met you today. You walked up to me and said hi, which is super cool of you. My question is, how can I let my colleagues and employees feel safe when he uses fear to get them to do things without undermining his authority?
One more time when he was saying he. One more time? One more time?
Gary, super grateful to have met you today. You walked up to me and said hi, which is super cool of you. My question is, how can I let my colleagues and employees feel safe when he uses fear to get them to do things without undermining his authority?
Got it. So it seems like there's a boss above. So look, this fucking notion that fear is a great motivator is actually true. The problem is, it's not sustainable. It works in the short term, but it fucks up the whole system. You may get what you want in the short term, but deep down,